Learn about the county's model healthcare plan, convenient family clinics, children's programs, neighborhood and senior centers, transportation services, and more.
Welcome to another episode of Hillsborough Health, a series that's devoted to making sure residents know that some of the services available to them through Hillsborough County. Today we're going to be talking about Children and Youth Services Department, and with me are Bart Banks, who is the Director of the Children and Youth Services Department. Welcome,
Thank
Bart.
you.
Glad you could be here. And Carl Harness, who's the Chief of the Human Services Administrator, Chief Human Services Administrator, better put.
Thanks for having
welcome
us.
to both of you.
Thank you.
So this is kind of newish, so tell me about the Children and Youth Services Department, what it encompasses, what its purpose is.
Louise, basically what took place last fall, this is a part of a major reorganization that was implemented by our county administrator, Mike Merrill. And the Children and Youth Services group kind of came out of a larger department. We had an agency that was then called the Department of Family and Aging Services, which is about a department. It was massive, about 7 divisions, over 800 employees. And within that larger department, you had 2 divisions. You had the Children's Services Division, and you had the Head Start Division. And within the reorganization that occurred late last summer, early last fall, Mr. Merrill saw fit to create a department solely dedicated to children's issues, which kind of makes sense. And he brought Head Start and Children's Services together. So the creation there was, the Department of Children and Youth Services. So basically, we handle, like I like to say, we handle children from birth to almost adulthood, until 18.
So some of the activities under that department, can you talk about those, Bart?
Sure. As Carl indicated, we have 2 major divisions. We have the Head Start Division, and then we have the Children and Youth Services Division. The Head Start Division deals with early childhood and childhood education. And one of the misnomers as it relates to Head Start is that it's just education, but actually it meets the need of the entire family. The whole idea is that this was a program that was started some 50 years ago as one of the tools in the arsenal of the war against poverty. And so the idea is to attempt to break the poverty cycle with families by giving the children an opportunity to have a head start so that they can be successful when they enter into the educational system. That's one aspect of it, but the other aspect is to deal with family issues as it relates to parenting skills or parent involvement, opportunities for parents to volunteer to be a part of their child's educational activities. And so the bottom line is to help that family to achieve its maximum level of self-sufficiency or quality of life services, because we also provide wraparound services to the family, such as health care, mental health services, adult education type activities, and then we partner with other community partners to make referrals to agencies throughout the community. For example, if a family had a financial crisis where they were in need of assistance, in that regard, then we would make referrals to agencies that would be able to assist them in those activities. So it's really a comprehensive program that helps to meet the needs of the entire family.
The ages of the children in the Head Start program, is that 0 to 5?
0 to 5. We actually have what we call early Head Start because it's believed that learning starts at an early age. And so we engage the children with the appropriate educational activities even at the early age. And then with the Children and Youth Services Division, it deals with kids who have some issues as it relates to needing families to have respite time away from their families for temporary time while we provide counseling to assist them in overcoming some challenges. We have a residential program where we have kids who live on campus with us at the Lake Mag location for an extended period of time while they are receiving services, mental health services, or life skills type services, or other services that helps them.
These kids that got in trouble in some way, or maybe not?
Well, it's like a intervention type. Typically, kids that are already in trouble would not qualify for the program. So we're looking at kids who are not wards of the juvenile justice system, who have not been adjudicated. And so what we're trying to do is to intervene so that they do not become part of the system, and provide the services necessary for them to be successful in getting over some indicators of behavior that would lead them down the wrong road, like some truancy issues, or perhaps some rebellious issues in the family, or some attitudinal issues, or those types of things.
Are these generally teens or even younger? Even
younger. I think we start with ages 10 to 17 as it relates to that. We have a residential program, but we also have a non-residential program where families in the community can access therapeutic type services or clinical type services, and we have partnerships with organizations who have facilities throughout the community, and so we send the services out to where the people are, and then they come in and access those types of services that will help them through those challenging periods.
Carl, this also includes nutritional programs?
Yes, ma'am. We have a full-fledged kitchen on campus, and it also includes nutritional programs through Head Start. We service approximately 100 kids a year in our residential group care program, and we service probably approximately 600 kids in our SINS-FINS program, which stands for Children in Needs of Services, Family in Needs of Services program. So, as Mr. Banks had said, you know, the respite period can range anywhere from a short period of time to a day or so to a couple of days, maybe a few weeks, to the foster kids that we have living on campus. You know, we might have them for a couple of years. So basically, the way we look at it, you know, where some of those kids we end up raising, basically, they're basically our children. But nutrition's a big part of it. One of the exciting programs that we're looking at in the future, due to the fact that we do have a full service kitchen, industrial type kitchen, is the fact that we're going to develop a nutritional program with the children, which will teach them basically cooking skills. Our foster kids transition out at the age of 18, and through Eckerd Alternative Community Services, they place them in other residential situations, find apartments, either they're going back to school, or they're working, or they're doing something constructive. But up until that point, when we have them, we think that it's very important that we teach them certain life skills and prepare them for the outside world, so that they're just not, when they do transition out, they're just not living off of McDonald's and Wendy's and doing the unhealthy things. So we are looking at utilizing some of our facilities for some of those life skill training necessities that we feel is important as our kids get older.
So for all of the programs, if it's the foster child, they're automatically eligible for?
No, we get referrals through Eckerd Community, Eckerd Alternative Initiative. We get referrals from them. Sometimes we get court referrals, and with the SINS-FINS programs, it could be just a matter of a parent contacting us and just needing some assistance due to the fact that, you know, their child has just become ungovernable, and they need some professional help in terms of trying to put the family unit back together.
Does the county employ the social workers or psychologists or therapists that needed, or is that from another agency?
Well, we have trained staff that are county employees, and then we do have a contract with some behavioral services as well, where we have overlay type services that we contract for. So to answer your question, we have a combination of both. We have very qualified case workers, we have treatment counselors who are county employees, and we have registered nurses. We're just currently recruiting for a clinical director who would give leadership to the treatment counseling staff. And so we have a combination of county professionals as well as where necessary, contracting out for professional services as well.
Is there more than one location for some of the youth services? You mentioned Lake Magdalene as the residential program.
Yes.
So where in the county can people access this, or do they come down to the county center, or how they?
Well, there are a number of options. Sometimes some of the families for the outpatient programs, they can come to the campus over at Lake Magdalene. But we do have 5 sites throughout the county. I think we utilize a site in Lutz, we utilize a site in Ruskin. We utilize a couple of other sites throughout the county, 5 altogether. Where we station some of our treatment counselors out in the community, and they make appointments. And sometimes it's easier for those families, especially if they have issues with transportation, that sort of thing, make it a little easier for them and their child to get to the sessions.
How are physically challenged or children with disabilities handled? Is there a way to handle those kids too?
Well, our facilities are, of course, equipped to handle that population as well. In fact, the Lake Mag is probably one of the state-of-the-art facilities that was recently built, probably maybe 4 or 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And the facilities are such that we accommodate the needs of the children that are referred to us.
The program sounds really huge, like it has so many elements to it. What did I miss? You mentioned medical quickly. Can children get immunizations through the county for going into school? Or, yeah?
Well, we do medical assessments on our direct clients. As Bernard says, we actually have 2 positions. One is filled now. We're looking to fill the second one. We do have 2 nurses on staff. You got to remember, we're a 24-hour, 365-day-a-year operation. And again, what makes this so different and unique is that we actually have kids living on campus. So we do health assessments on our children. If we need to have other services provided for them, we have community partners that we work through to have more specific or detailed services rendered if need be. We do the whole health and behavioral aspect in terms of mental health and behavioral health aspect, in terms of analysis and working with our kids. The program, you have to think of it this way. A lot of the kids, a lot of our clients that we have, in some instances, we're kind of the last stop. They've been in and out of other foster homes, and that didn't work. They've been in and out of other sessions, counseling sessions with their parents, or their issues with school. We have kids that have been teens. We have children that have been victims of human trafficking. We have children that are involved in domestic violence. We have children that may have drug issues. So, there's a variety of things that we're dealing with at one time. And again, we're in a unique position. We're dealing with, these aren't your normal teens that you'd be raising at home and that you go home to every night. Some of the kids, they're on medications on a daily basis, and, without those meds, they could be a totally different person. And, we have trained and skilled staff that, tries to deal with all of those issues at one time, and some of the kids can have more than one issue. So it's not just we're a place where they sleep, and, we send them to school and we have activities. We're basically trying to put the child back together and put the family unit back together.
And change their lives.
Change their lives and make them productive, so that, again, when they do transition out, they're kind of ready for, their next phase of life.
Very important work that
Yes,
you're
ma'am.
doing down there. We're going to hear more about it in just a minute. Please stay tuned. Be right back.
Change your life. Learn TV and internet video production skills at TBCN in Tampa. Become a skilled video producer quickly and inexpensively. Learn audio, editing, lighting, and camera basics. Produce multi-camera videos for TV, the internet, business, or pleasure.
Welcome to my live call-in show on Tampa Bay Community Network. You too can learn to produce and star in your own video programming, or you can have TBCN staff do it for you.
Call TBCN at 813-977-5200 today and change your life. Visit our website at tbcn.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Welcome back to Hillsborough Health. Today we've been talking about Children and Youth Services Department, and with me are Bart Manx and Carl Harness. We're talking about some of the various services you provide to children in the community, and in the Head Start program, it's beyond nutrition, it's medical and so forth. Can you explain some of that?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. One of the outcome measures that the federal government use as a basis for determining how successful we are is to determine whether or not we're meeting our objectives as it relates to health issues. One of the health issues is immunization, and we have reached a level of 98% record in terms of our students. I think we're serving in the neighborhood of 3,500 students a year.
In Head Start?
In Head Start.
And the early Head Start too?
That's a combination of early Head Start and Head Start.
Okay.
And our statistics at the end of last year was 98% success rate in making sure the kids were up to their immunization requirements. And in terms of health screenings and those kind of things, we were at 88% of our population. So that's one of the primary objectives that we attempt to achieve, is to make sure the kids are not only nutritionally healthy, but mentally and physically healthy as well.
The program, when you said the federal government guidelines or goals, Head Start is funded entirely by federal funds, or is it also supplemented by other?
Well, we're very fortunate here in Hillsborough County. Our Board of County Commissioners are very passionate about human service programs. So one of the requirements of Head Start is that you have to have a 20% match with local non-federal dollars to operate the programs. And those funds are generously provided through the Board of County Commissioners.
So federal government provides 80% of the funding?
Right.
And you're serving 6,500
We're
children.
serving 3,500 children annually.
3,500.
Yes.
And let me point out something that's really important about what Bart just said. Due to the fact that our county commission is so generous, and we did do that, we did have the match, and we had those resources in hand. When the sequestration went through last fall, when you were reading on the news about a lot of the other programs around us, some of our neighbors closing down and having to shut down for a couple of weeks at a time, we were able to stay open. It didn't affect our business whatsoever, and we were able to continue with our service as if nothing had happened. So, that was
Absolutely.
The county picked
Very
up
important.
the slack, you
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
from what happened with the federal government at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
That's fantastic. That's good to hear that we have that. In terms of this other part of what you do under Children's Services, the child care licensing, how does all of that work?
Well, Hillsborough County is one of a few counties left in the state of Florida that actually regulate licensing of daycare centers themselves. I think we're one of two, so Hillsborough County is the responsible party for doing that. And so we license in excess of 1,000 agencies on an annual basis. There are inspections that are required that we go in and make sure the facilities are sufficient to ensure the safety of the children. We ensure that the staff are properly credentialed, checking records, background screenings, and those kinds of things. And we also provide training throughout the year for vendors who are interested in opening child care facilities. So it's one of those that, as Mr. Harness indicated, with those 1,000 agencies that are providing services, they're serving 60,000 children throughout the county. So it's a significant impact. And we ensure the safety of the kids by virtue of the fact that we license the facilities and make sure they are meeting the requirements of the facility. And our requirements are even more stringent than state requirements.
We're one of only 2 counties in the state of Florida out of 67 counties that are monitoring these child care facilities?
No, not
Or
our monitoring.
licensed?
That we're one of 2 that have our own operation within the county as a county entity. In other counties, it might be the health department or some other entity that might be the licensure. But with us here in Hillsborough, we're one of a couple that actually have the operation in-house.
So those child care facilities, do they have to be like corporations with, employees and a facility, or can it also be someone's home? Can people do it that way, or no?
Yes, we have a combination of facilities and what we call child care home operations, and both have to go through the stringent inspection of our inspectors to make sure they are meeting the minimum requirements associated with the operation.
Okay, that's great that we are, staying on top of what's happening with children. One of the things you mentioned earlier was, and this is a big topic recently in the press with a lot of organizations, is this child trafficking. How is that being handled, or is that a program that's going to be more used in the future?
Well, as you may be aware, the grassroots effort was, initiated by a group known here as the Community Campaign Against Human Trafficking Tampa Bay, and they just changed their name to FREE, and I can't remember what that stands for off the top of my head, but they have been working on this for a couple of years now in conjunction with some other entities in Pasco and Pinellas County, Pinellas County Police Department, some other entities there. What the county did through initiative with Commissioner Merman, we got involved, and we did some things through communications department in terms of helping them produce some PSAs. It was kind of an awareness campaign initially on that, and what the county also did, we convened a county funded an exercise where we convened a full-day collaborative lab over in Clearwater, and we brought up to about 75 partners that are currently working on this issue. There are more than 100 or so entities, nonprofit, grassroots entities throughout the Tri-County area that's currently working on the human trafficking issue. But that day we were lucky enough to have 75 of our partners come together and set a strategic plan and a direction of how we want to move forward as a total community with one voice to deal with human trafficking and the issue. And this is something that's not going to go away. We're just hitting the tip of the iceberg in terms of our awareness and our education. And recently Governor Scott, they've been down a couple of times and supporting our efforts here and doing other things to bring it to the forefront. But as I had said earlier, we're sometimes affected through our clientele that we have in children's services that at young ages of 14, 15, and 16 have been already victims of human trafficking. And when you look at the statistics, this is a multi-billion-dollar business, underground business worldwide. So it's a problem, and somehow as a community we're going to have to try to find a way to alleviate the problem.
I'm glad that Hillsborough County and your efforts are all dedicated to that. It's certainly a big issue. Some of the things that you're looking at in the future, I had a list here, partnerships with classroom and educational components, school readiness. Can you talk about some of those things that are in the offing?
Well, as it relates to the school readiness piece, the idea with Head Start, early Head Start, is to ensure that once the children reach kindergarten or reach first grade, that they have received all of the foundational training necessary for them to be successful. And so that's all about making sure they're ready for school when the time comes. And so we are continuing to work hard at that. There is federal grant opportunities available for expansion.
Where are the Head Start facilities, by the way, all over the county or just in certain areas?
All over the county. We have 19 facilities that we operate directly, and then we also partner with Hillsborough County Public Schools, who have Head Start classes in elementary schools throughout the county. We partner with the YMCA and Lutheran Services of Florida, who operate home child care facilities throughout the county. So the service is available.
So you have 19 now, and you're thinking in the future of expanding that?
We're thinking of expanding the early Head Start program, where we're perhaps looking at the need. We're going to do a forum within the next few days to talk to the community to see what the needs are, and then we'll look at whether we have additional facilities or we expand the child home care facilities.
I also saw on your list a component for the future called family engagement. What are you looking at with that?
Well, the success of the children at that early age is dependent upon parent involvement. And so we have programs that are designed to help the parents to be involved in their child's education in terms of the curriculum. We partner with them so that what is started in the classroom can be continued at home. We have programs that are designed to encourage male involvement in the children's programs as well as female involvement. We have seminars and workshops and retreats throughout the year that are targeted specifically for the parents.
We're down to just a couple of minutes left, and so I'm going to ask both of you to talk to the viewers about something we missed or something you want to emphasize that we already talked about. Carl?
Well, as it relates to both Children's Services and Head Start, I think it's important to remember, we're basically trying to provide a safe and healthy environment. We're trying to provide life skills for both the children and the parents so that they can be self-sufficient and succeed within our community. And government, as you always heard, for other issues, government cannot do it alone. We have many partners that we work with, both other governmental agencies and non-governmental agencies, which are critical to the key of our success. And for me, it's simple. It's all about the safety and well-being of our children and their families.
And the future of the whole community, I guess.
And the future of the community. We're basically shaping the future of our community.
Bart?
It's all about trying to improve the quality of life of the residents of Hillsborough County, and certainly if we start at the early age, infants, and making sure they are provided the services necessary for them to be successful. And then we can carry that same type of attention and passion throughout their formative years, and hopefully they can develop into strong citizens who can contribute to the quality of life of Hillsborough County.
Thank you both. It's amazing what's happening out there that most of us don't know about. And where our tax dollars, whether they're federal or they're county-based, are being used to benefit the entire community. It's fantastic, and I'm glad you two are involved in that. Seem very committed and passionate about it, and I think that I'm speaking on behalf of the viewers when I thank both of you for coming here today and letting us know about this service, and hopefully getting the support you need for the future. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Health.